there everyone, it's me, Bahamut. I'm back at it with a Armored Core 6 build video. This time I'm doing it on my personal build, one that I've used since I started playing the game, and this is my just about finished version of it. Unless they, I don't know, throw in some DLC that adds more lightweight parts, who knows? But for now, this is the complete version of it that I've consistently been using lately. And I figured I would share it with you guys, since I'm rather proud of this one. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into it, shall we? First off, for the assembly, just for some background context, all of these parts can be obtained from clearing the typical first ending of the game, the Fires of Raven ending, which means basically if you do that ending, you should have about all of these parts with the exception of one. So first off, we've got the right and left arm units both being Viento needle guns. Because I like pistol weaponry, and thus far the Vientos are kind of the best that we currently have. They've got a good rate of fire, they don't have too ridiculous of a recoil, and they've got some good impact paired with it. So I like using them quite a bit, and they're my typical go-to when fighting in PvP, since they're rather versatile and pretty decent against most other enemy ACs. However, I do also use the Etsujins as well as an alternative, since I feel like they're a little bit better when fighting other lightweight ACs, since I can hit them a little more frequently, and you have more ammunition. It just means you're a little bit heavier and you suffer from losing 5 points of boost speed if you have Etsujins instead of the Vientos. As for the right back unit, I use the 6L BML G2 missile launcher, since it's overall the most balanced and well-rounded missile launcher I've used. The 6 missiles isn't bad. They all hit relatively decently hard, and it has a good reload time and a decently large amount of rounds, so you can stay in the fight for a good chunk of time. And as for the left back unit, I use the standard pulse blade. However, you don't need to feel inclined to use this, because if you're not just downloading the AC data, for instance, if you're a PlayStation player, or you don't you want to make a more customized version of it for yourself, you can use whatever melee weapon you want. It's up to you. As for the head, I use the Alba head, as I actually use mostly Alba parts on this AC, with the exception of the arms being the Basho arms for their maxed out melee specialization. Otherwise, the entire rest of the frame is Alba parts, since I like the overall design of it quite a bit. And while I could use slightly better legs to maximize the efficiency of this AC, I just like the way the Alba frame looks. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of performance for the sake of, you know, a very cool appearance. As for the boosters, I use the Alulas, as I've actually used the Alulas on this AC consistently, since the first version of it that I made, which used Schneider frame with the Bremeza legs, I think. I just used the Alulas on every iteration of this AC I've made. As for the FCS, I use the Oculus, because I love that close range assist, and it's probably one of the best FCSs you're going to have for closer quarters ACs. This is the only part of the AC, however, that you can't get just from clearing the game's typical first ending. Because you actually have to find this thing, but if I remember correctly, it is in a box that's kind of hidden in the Underground Depths Exploration Mission Tier 3. You can find the Oculus somewhere relatively close to the start, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, most people probably might have it already, but it's a pretty solid FCS. As for the generator, I use a Santai, which is a bit different than what I typically did for this AC, but after kind of experimenting and maybe looking at a bit of other guides on how lightweights should be built up for the most part, the Santai just seems to be the typical go-to now for ACs like Brionac, which is my personal one that I'm doing a review on right now. Despite it saying that it's manufactured for heavyweight ACs, with the right parts and booster, you can still keep a really good speed and then also take full advantage of the incredible EN capacity that the Santai has. And granted, since it's a fuel-based generator, or at least I think that's what they are, it doesn't regenerate in the air like the energy ones do, but it has much faster ground regeneration than other boosters. So it's my preference to use, since I don't necessarily need energy arm specialization on an AC that uses basically all kinetic weaponry. As for the core expansion, feel free to use whatever, but typically I use assault armor for close quarters ACs, with the exception of my redone version of Regis, which was my Iron Blood themed AC. The redone one I'm going to do a video on soon, because it is significantly better than the original iteration of it. I'm really not sure what I thought I was cooking up with the original one, but I can assure you the redone one is better. It's a reverse joint, and I've actually had genuine fun using it. Otherwise, that does it for all of the parts. As for the paint, it shouldn't be too difficult to replicate this, since these are all presets, but I will, for the most part, show you what I have used. For the glow on the back units and the rest of the frame, with the exception of the Etsujins or needle launchers, I use that preset, this one right here, and that's because of the nice sort of teal-ish color. Yes, I think that's teal. I don't know. Pretty sure that's teal. For all of the gray bits, I use this sort of gray right here, and then I put it at 28 value on the material to give it a sort of shiny silver look to it. The blue parts of the AC use the darkest sort of, I want to say navy blue or royal blue, I think that is. For all the parts they use, blue is that color. The white, real easy, literally the highest preset value for white, and that's for the most part what all the frame uses. Feel free to replicate that. If you gotta pause the video too, if you need to see certain things, feel free to do that too. The left arms and right arms are the exception, because they use the second darkest gray, or I should say darkest gray, since black is the darkest value on that, and it uses this sort of purplyish blue color for the glow instead, of the other parts, since I figured it kind of matched the needle launchers and I guess the Etsujins a little more. And I think it made the weapons look a little more unique from each other. As for decals, I think the only particularly advanced decal on this AC that I made was the Sakura Empire emblem, which I have kept on this AC simply because I am a Sakura Empire enjoyer when it comes to Azure Lane. But that's otherwise the most advanced decal that's on here, the one that took me the most time to make. All the other decals on it you could probably make pretty easily by yourself if you wanted to mimic it. And I'll also share the AC data. Now, while I have called them PvP or PvE variants, simply the reason behind that is I prefer using Etsujins for PvE because I have more ammo on them, and they're a little bit more diverse in the targets I can effectively fight. Otherwise, both will do pretty solid PvP. But yeah, as you can see, the one using Etsujins on both arms is 5 boost speed lower than the one using the needle pistols, but it's a small price to pay for higher ammo capacity and slightly better performance against lighter weights, at least in my personal experience. I also have a black and red version of it named Gae Bolg instead of Brionac, which, hey, if that's your preference for color scheme, feel free to use this one too. It's literally exactly the same, but it's red and black and has a different name. Also a different number too, since Brionac is numbered AC00, Gae Bolg is numbered AC04, or Gae Bolg. Did I say Gae Bolg? I think I said Gae Bolg. Anyways, yeah, feel free to use whichever one you prefer if you want to download these instead of customizing them yourself. And I might do a quick arena test with the PvP and PvE versions of Brionac, and then I will likely also put a video of me doing one of the campaign missions with Gae Bolg. I'll decide which version of it I'll use. For now, we're going to use the needle pistol version against Snail. Do I need to explain why Snail is being our test subject today? Oh no. All you have to do is read the bio on the arena page, and if you've played the game, you already know. So, I'm gonna go kill him. Yeah, Snail will be our first test subject for Brionac.
V.II スネイル検証を開始します
My typical strategy when I'm using Brionac as well is I will pop while I'm strafing around an opponent. I think this was a strategy that old gen AC players also utilized. What's that? I hate a needle launcher to the face. Or stun? Yeah.
I like it, Koji.
Oh! Who ordered some escargot? Because I just cooked the hell out of that snail. I probably said that wrong. But no matter. So yeah, as you can see, them needle pistols, they're pretty good. As for our next opponent, I'll probably fight Rusty with the Etsujin version. Because Rusty, you can always rely on Rusty to give you a good fight. And he's another lightweight AC user, because he's a Chad. The true Chad of Rubicon. And, to put things quite simply, I always have a lot of fun fighting other lightweight users. And I can't even be mad about losing to them, because typically if I do lose to another lightweight AC, it's because they were genuinely better than me. Which I can't be mad about. I, however, am not including Lamb Rats. You know who you are. You know damn well who you are. You're not funny. Nobody likes a Lammager rat. Besides, I don't think I'll reach that. Yeah, he's too high in the air. I personally think this is what Armored Core 6 combat should always look like. Otherwise, GG's Rusty. Always rely on him for a good fight. But yeah, as you can see, the Etsujins just feel a little bit nicer to use against other lightweight ACs. You can get them to work on other ACs, usually. But, you know, it's typically my preference to use the Etsujins on lightweights and then the needle guns on slightly heavier ACs, since I feel like they have a bit of a harder hitting impact for each bullet, or needle I should say. Otherwise, I might do a mission. And this time, I will use Gae Bolg. Right, H2. Alright, this thing is the exact same AC. It's just, I made this with the intention of my buddy using this, my boy Nidhogg. But for now, he has no beef with me sharing this one with a lot of you, since it's pretty much the exact same as mine. Where is is that mission? Ah, yes, there it is. This one's a fun one. Assuming I don't get my ass kicked. Because I have somewhat mixed experiences with this one. And sometimes it can come up to luck, so who knows, I might put on an absolutely pitiful display or I will kick their rear ends in. You never know. And yes, I'll say it here, the design of the Brionac and Gae Bolg are both very Gundam-esque in appearance. Which is very intentional. I like Gundam. I can probably assault boost right here. We're gonna take out King first. What's up, King? And he's already done. With all the glazing air was giving you, you already went down. That's a little sad. Whoa, you got a lot of explosions, don't you? If that's the case, I just won't touch the ground. Okay, that's bullshit. Don't you dare tell me I should be any music. I'm killing you for that alone. Might need to repair here. They're tanky. And that disposes of you. And that should be Raven right on time. Take on! I already blew both of them up. I mean, hey, if you want to take a crack at it, don't be my guest. Oh, I guess I'll wait. I'll wait. Oh, do you now notice? Come on. There you go. No, I'm gonna kick your rear end. Okay, maybe it's stupid of me to touch the ground there. Just but a scratch. Ah, damn it. I probably could have finished that there if I'd been a little faster. Ew. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if he's getting up after that. Considering I used 2 repair kits, that might not be an S rank. Spent a little bit more time on Chartreuse than I would have liked to do. Oh, hey, what am I kidding? That was an S rank. Nice. Let me tell you something. I used to struggle with that mission. But ever since I got more used to using lightweights and figure out an appropriate build, it's been my sort of playground, my sort of testing ground to deem whether lightweight is good enough or not for the more public use. Otherwise, that is Gae Bolg and Brionac. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to use them, feel free to. I got no objections to that. I wouldn't have posted this video otherwise. And feel free to use either one you want. Both color schemes I think are pretty damn cool. I made sure to give them both decals appropriate for their color scheme and who they were intended for. And if you liked the video, subscribe, drop a like, it supports my channel. Turn on notifications to alert you whenever I drop a new video. But other than that, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you all in the next one. And for now, have a good day. I will be seeing you next time.